Hey guys, it's Julie. Decided it was time for a quick check in with everybody. Um, so first off, can't remember if I mentioned in my past video. I've been working since October at Target, which is right down the road from where we live, which makes it convenient. Um, It's not the best job, though. I mean, it's retail. So, it's retail around the holidays, which people can be a little crazy around the holidays. And we had been for like the past 3 or 4 weeks, been staying open until midnight. Um, and people have been, although at first we had hardly anybody jumping in and staying late. The last few days we've had a lot of people staying in, coming in, staying in late. Now, last night was Christmas Eve, and we were still extremely busy, but we were only open until 8 o'clock. So once we got all the customers taken care of, everybody done, we shut down the registers, and then I was out of there. Um, but like I said, it's just not the best job. It's better than my job at Casey's was. I will say that. But really very minimally. Really the only really good thing about Target is they make sure you get your burp most of the time. There were a couple times where there was some kind of hiccup or they didn't have anybody available right away to come cover for me while I took a break, but usually I got at least a 15 and then a 30 minutes. So for eating food and meals and all that stuff. And so that was good. Um but I don't know. I kind of want to tell you guys a story and see what you guys think of it. So, what happened is when I interviewed back in October, the gal who I spoke with um, was one of the ETLs, which I'm not entirely sure what that stands for, but I know L stands for lead, so they're like a step above, or two steps maybe. I'm not really sure above, and that's part of the problem is there was an extreme lack of communication. But I'll get to what I mean by that. So first off, when I interviewed, I told the gal I spoke with, I informed her I had issues with joint pain. I was kind of flat footed and that I needed to move. That I couldn't just stand behind the register all day because that kills my feet, hurts and everything. So she was like, "Oh, that's no problem. We'll just stick you at self checkout." Well, first off, self checkout can be massively insane, and I've learned to move very quickly and put out multiple fires, all one after the other, which is fine. You know, it helps to be fast, and especially around this time of year and everything. But I think because there was another shift lead who, when I first started, he wasn't working. He was off or something. I still have no idea where he was, but he wasn't. up front. See, they have different leads, different supervisors, I guess you could call them, for like the different areas of the store. And this store is like huge. There are a lot of departments and a lot of different areas that need taken care of. So, and then there's the front area, which is where the cashiers are and the self checkout is, and all that. And so Ethan, that's his name. Um, the the day he came back and the day I was working, I was, for some reason, I don't remember what it was at the time, but I was up at a regular checkout, and I think I was covering a break, maybe, possibly, I don't remember. But so he comes up and he's all smiley, smiles and everything. It's like, nice to meet you, and he was like, well, that's why I said something. I don't remember what it is now, but I have a feeling it was something to the effect of, I'm up at night anyway, so I like working at night. And so he was like, and that's why we hired you, so that we could have more night help. And so I didn't think anything of it. I just smiled back and was like, well, it's good to be here, blah, blah, blah. And then they started putting me on self checkout more, which is great, which is where I wanted to be, despite the fact that it was absolutely insane at times. But, nothing I really couldn't handle. But the problem is that because, Target, you walk in and all have their their walkie talkies, and then they have their little zebra thing, which, you can use to like scan items to see what the price is, see if there's any in the back, that kind of thing. And so, I'm getting into the swing of things, but like I was still very, very, very new and just kind of thrown to the wolves. Like, they have you watch videos and stuff, but it's nothing about like how to work with the registers. And let me tell you, the registers at this Target did not always work. And there were a lot of times I had to learn as I went. Like, learn, okay, this isn't working. There's nothing else I can do. I'll have to shut down and reboot. And of course, with customers, especially around this time of year, it's like, how dare you, I need to get my stuff and get out. And it's like, I know, dude, I'm trying, but the register will not scan anything, or will shut down in the middle of the transaction. And you don't want that, you'll be mad at that too. So, but I was doing fairly well, but like the leads do, at least once up front, do not communicate with those of us who are actually at the registers and stuff. Like, I mean, there were times when I was at a regular register, and you know how most Target registers, you can turn the light on, off, and then flashing, which means come help me, please. There were a couple times I was at a regular register. I had the light on. I called over the walkie, and nobody showed up. And I even got talked to privately by the same lead, Ethan, about having to be more independent, and that it just takes common sense to solve problems and stuff, and that like I remember he was saying that people were getting mad at me for calling for help. And I'm like, is that part of your job as a lead to come and help? And it's like we've been shorthanded. And I understand that and I get that. And that sucks. And I've been trying my best to put out fires, as I call it, on my own. And most of it I can't handle on my own. But then there's just issues that happen, or technical issues, or whatever. And then corporate. I don't know if I should even be mentioning this before I leave, but there was just a couple days ago, before Christmas hit, apparently people were trying to commit fraud with gift cards. And so, without telling anybody, let's keep that in mind. Well, and I'm assuming the leads knew because, well, here's the thing. Nobody else was around. The gal who hired me wasn't around. Ethan wasn't around. Nobody was around. So I grabbed the guy who he usually is helping the sorters and the packers, the people who like packs the special orders and stock stuff. He's usually running around helping them. I called out over the walkie. He comes running up. And then he tells me, oh yeah, corporate decided to shut down the sale of gift cards at midnight. And I'm like, that makes no sense. Because people are still here at midnight. People are still ringing up at midnight. And they want to buy their gift cards. And it's like, how is that going to solve anything? And it kind of reminds me of, like being in school and your whole class would be punished for the actions of one or two people. Oh, because of this, we can't go to the science fair or whatever. And it's like, that doesn't solve anything. That just inconveniences a lot of legitimate people who want their gift cards. And so, between that and between calling for help and not getting any response, but then, here's the other funny thing. I have another funny story to tell. So, Christmas Eve, we were busy from the moment I got there till the time we closed, which thankfully was 8:30, 8-ish. So, but, so I walk into work, and number one, I have to explain a little bit. We usually have keys for the register on us, and then we have usually, when I first started, we would always get a little hand magnet thing with two little notches on it, and we use that to take off lids, or if somebody brought something up from electronics that was in a case, we could undo that case. Well, we have these lids that go on top of the neck of the bottle, and like if you first look at it, it kind of looks like a wine topper kind of thing, or like a corkscrew kind of thing. But you look on the very top of it, and it's got two little notches on it. So what you're supposed to do is take your little magnet, which has the two notches, remember, and put the little nubby things. Put the little nubby things in the notches, twist to the side, and then pull up the top. And I have to say I've gotten pretty good at doing that. But the problem is that I walked into work yesterday and discovered that for some reason we're not being given hand magnets anymore. So, and that's no big deal because up front we have magnets and the little nubby things on attached to the wall, including at self checkout. Well, the one at self checkout, well, the little nubs broke off. So, first time I tried putting the thing on in the notches and twisting, it only did it halfway and I couldn't get it off. So I'm having to run. Keep in mind, I'm not supposed to leave the self checkout area. Also, keep in mind, I'm supposed to be keeping my eyes open, not only in case people need help, but to try to prevent theft. And so I'm having to run from self checkout across this little wall thing over to the first register because they had a security removal thing that had both its nubs. And so I'm just struggling with this. And I didn't think it would do anything. But, I called over to the walkie and I said, guys, I really need help. My thing's broken and it won't work. I don't know what to do. And so this guy who I never met, I've seen him running around before. I still don't know what department he works in. But he comes running up and grabs the bottle that I'm trying to work on from my hands and runs over to the registers. And he became my helper in a couple of instances. If he was around up front, he would see me and he would be like, give me the ball. I'd take it off, remove the lid, and run it back. And so, we got it done. And thankfully, we have no more being open until midnight. We're back once I start again tomorrow, we'll be back to normal hours, which is 10, But at the same time, it's just, like, I don't, and it's a weird atmosphere. And, like, it's not, it's like mostly high school kids and like mostly young kids. But at the same time, there are some of us who are older. And there's some gals who are older than me. And they're doing their best and trying to work and everything. So, and the other really cool thing is that they have a app that you can go on to and view your schedule online. So, which has been very, very helpful. But the problem is that, again, with no communication, with no, even if they said, hey, we're not keeping you, but we appreciate what you've been doing and how hard you've been working. Nope, nothing. I looked at my schedule for next week. I go from, my normal schedule is 5, sometimes 6 days a week, depending on if they call me in because somebody called out or whatever. which I don't mind, but I go from 5 days a week, full time hours, to next week I work two shifts, and they're both like around 6 hours, which isn't bad, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, and that was just kind of the last straw. And I'm just kind of like, and it's like, I don't know if they're trying to ease me out, like if this week is going to be two, and the next week after I'm officially gone. But I have worked so hard over the past 3 months now, and I just don't feel appreciated. And actually cried at work last night for the first time, and that raised a giant red flag for me because at Casey's, if I wasn't crying or upset or mad, I consider that a rarity. And so the fact that, I don't get communicated with, well, here's the other thing. So, all this month and last month too, because I think they did something for Thanksgiving and all that, but they've been providing food, bringing in things, that kind of stuff. Well, today they had cinnamon rolls, but again, nobody told me. Nobody said anything to me about, hey, Julie, there's cinnamon rolls over here. Go get one when you can, or go get one when you leave. I just happened to walk into the office to log out, and I see a gal standing there with a cart about half full of boxes of these cinnamon rolls were huge. They were gigantic, and they had so much frosting on them. So, and she and some other person were talking about, I don't know what we're gonna do with all of these, and I was like, I'll take one, yoink, But if I missed it by like 2 minutes or whatever, I wouldn't have known. And it's just a lack of communication, and just being told to be more independent and to use common sense on stuff. And that just pisses me off. That just reminds me of Victoria all over again. And of course, it's not just helping the customers. We have to, you know, tidy up the place. I always try to tidy as I go. Like if I'm helping somebody and then I see bags strewn on the counter, I'll grab them, and we have a special place to put them because we recycle the bags and stuff like that. Or if I'm walking along and I see products that a customer left behind, or didn't want, I'll grab them, and I usually have like a cart or two, or sometimes three, and I'll put them in there. So I always see, that's the other thing. I always go above and beyond. And like I can't just quiet quit like people talk about nowadays. I can't just lean against the wall and do the bare minimum. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I would like to do that, especially when work treats me badly, or the other people at work treat me badly, but I just can't. My fingers get itchy, and I'm just like, must be doing something, or must clean up mess. And I keep saying, I keep saying, I'm just glad I don't have kids because I would not be the patient mom who's like, now, Timmy, it's time to clean up your room. Anyway, quick hashtag not sponsored, but ice drinks are like the best. They have so many different flavors. I'm drinking coconut pineapple right now. And they're so good. It's like sparkling water. They're usually zero sugar, very few, if any, calories. And they're like all different flavors. They even have one that tastes like a Sprite soda, but it's not Sprite. It's like sparkling water and then like lime juice, I want to say. Something like that. I'm sure they probably have some artificial stuff in there to make it look appealing, but for the most part, it's just really nice. And and that's the other thing. I've been getting over. I caught a few weeks ago. I caught an old croup because I had a cough. I was coughing and I couldn't like it was only every once in a while, but like every time I coughed, it sounded like it was deep in my chest. But like I had someone listen to my chest, and there's like no phlegm or anything in there. So, and then I do a lot of talking at my current job, and do a lot of let me help you. Or like I'm at one end of the self checkout area and I'm trying to holler to somebody at the other end, come down here, there's a register. Well, I woke up the next day and I could barely talk. I sound all froggy. And so I went down to the clinic down here and had them check me out. And yeah, she said, after doing my vitals and everything, she was like, "You have the adult version of croup." I'm like, "What?" So she gave me some steroids to take. And so I was taking those, and it's mostly gone now. I still, every once in a while, get a bit of like a tickle in my throat, and it's never been like sore or anything, if that makes sense. But it's just been like, okay, so I've been getting over that, and you know, well, so here's the thing, to get off the tangent and go back to the Target thing. So I think Ethan's problem is at least partially based in the fact that I think he thought that when I was coming aboard um, the Great Vessel Target, is that I was going to be a regular checkout person. I think. Again, no communication, so I have really no idea. But just based on certain things, based on the fact I was at regular checkout when I first met him and he seemed really happy, I'm guessing that's probably the issue. But then, why take out on me? Why not talk to the other shift lead who hired me, who said I could work at self checkout? So, anyway, so with the whole being reduced to working 2 shifts next week, I had kind of had enough. So I wrote a letter to Target. And this is the other thing that just blows my mind is at this store, Target has their HR department right there. They're right in the same office where you log in and out, where you get your Zebra and your walkie every day. So there's usually somebody there. And yet, I've been treated really horribly with them. Surely they'd figure out that I could just walk into the office and talk to somebody in HR. So I'm figuring that's not worth it, and I still work the 5 shifts this week, so I want to get this week done with. Because I've been saving money, and actually, other good news, I got a Switch. I got a Nintendo Switch. And I got a game. I got the remake of the Super Mario RPG. I've just started playing, but it's already so much fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. But it's been a while since I played, so I'm a bit rusty on remembering. This is different from other Mario games, and you have to fight multiple enemies in order to build up your stats and level up and everything. But, I wrote a little letter to the Target HR, and I'm officially quitting as of this Saturday because I'm just tired of it. And I'm going to quote my almost very last line of this letter. At my last job, I ran into the same issue, talking about not being communicated with and being treated you know, like I'm just nothing. But much worse, and it is not good for my mental health to be stressing so much about things that are out of my control. And then, of course, at the very end, I said, I thanked them for giving me the chance to work. And I did enjoy a lot of it. There was a lot of it I enjoyed. I enjoyed learning so much. But, it's a decent sized letter about about just a couple of the different issues that I had. And mainly it was communication. It was not being communicated with, not being, and it's you gotta communicate. I'm just sorry, but you gotta communicate. If you are a lead or a supervisor or a manager, whatever, you have got to communicate with your staff because they can't, just like the customers. Because I've run into a few customers that are read my mind, it always. I'll tell a little bit of a funny story, but it always cracked me up. Because, when you're in self checkout, they have the lights, and I don't know what they do, but they can call for help, and that turns on a red light above their register, and that lets me know, oh, okay, that person needs help, so I go right to them, whatever. And but I've run into some customers who just, they don't turn on the light, they don't ask for assistance, they don't even wave at me or indicate they need help. They just stand there and stare. And I'm like, do you need help? Should I come over there? Are you just looking at something past me? And it's like, I don't know. I've had a couple people, especially in the last couple of days, get mad at me for asking if they need help. They're like, yes, finally, man. And I'm like, have you tried pressing the button that lets me know you need help? Or waving at me? Or making any sort of acknowledgement that you need assistance? It's like the customers, for the most part, I just gotta laugh at them. Although there have been a couple that I've just been like, I will get you done and then I will walk away because you're not worth talking to. And, so I don't know. It's just been funny. It's been a good experience. And, I've been kind of debating with myself. Do I put this on my resume? Do I? Because it's been a good 3 months of learning and opportunity and all that, but at the same time, there's the fact that while I'm quitting, I'm not just letting them lay me off at the end of whatever, but also the fact that the fact that I'm not sure who to ask for a reference. Like, there are a couple of people who work at like a regular checkout, but they're also kind of like they're a step below the leads almost. I don't know. I still don't know what the hierarchy is. Like, I know from HR to corporate HR to shift leads to blah, but I think there's a step below shift lead, but I've never heard them acknowledged by anything. I've never heard like a title for them or anything. So I don't know. But there's a couple of people who I could, put down as reference, if I'm asked with or. But there's also the risk that if they called, they would get Ethan or one of the others who wasn't the best, and then I could get in trouble. So I don't know. And plus, there's the fact. There's the fact that as far as I'm aware, we are super super close on getting the partner visa. And once that happens, I'll be leaving. I'll be packing up all my stuff, selling anything that, that I don't need or donating or whatever. And I'll be gone, you know? And so I don't know what to do, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure. So good thoughts are appreciated. Um, but yeah, so that's what I've been up to. Working a new job, preparing to quit said job before my time is up because, like I said, forget working for 2 shifts a week after being used to working 5 or more shifts. That's ridiculous. Well, and to be honest, I think that Ethan was one who made the because this happened before. Like, I've only been scheduled like 2 or 3 shifts once before, and then I looked at the schedule later and it had changed. So I'm guessing somebody went and saw that the schedule saw my schedule and was like, no, this won't do. We'll give her, a couple more shifts and stuff. And it's also been difficult because, like, I really don't think a lot of people, I don't know what to say because it's like my impression is that not a lot of people, not a lot of shift leads at the store like me, but at the same time, I don't know if I'm A, imagining it, or B, transferring the whole Ethan thing to all the shift leads. But uh, it just really makes me mad that, that I and others, because I've seen other people have the issue too, where they're trying to get help and nobody comes, nobody comes to help. And it's like, and according to, because like last night, I managed to get to talk to a couple of my coworkers about the situation with the magnet, and a couple of them told me that they talked to Ethan and said they needed a better solution, and Ethan's response was, "Oh, it's not that bad." So you can bet your biffy I put it that in the letter. And it's like, normally I don't like to rat people out. Even if they don't treat me right, I don't usually rat people out, but it's kind of the combination of the way I was treated at Casey's and the fact that I never really felt like I could stand up for myself, even though I probably could have and should have. But combine that with how I'm treated at Target, and I'm just like, no, no, this doesn't get to happen again. I will stand up for myself. I will call you out for treating people badly, and yeah, and I'm out of here, you know. And so, I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna take this letter in with me tomorrow and hopefully get to hand it off to an HR person. If not, I'm going to try to put it in one of their offices on their desk so that they see it. And yeah, and I'm out on Saturday. Oh, yeah. So that's pretty much it. And also, if y'all are wondering why I'm doing this so late, so my sister and niece finally moved down to Florida to be with her husband, and Shay and her two half sisters, and and Todd, and they're all hanging out together and all that. So my parents went down to Florida to visit and spend Christmas with them. And since I was working, you know, but it's okay because, well, let's just put it this way. I've been able to sleep in when I need to. I've been able to stay up as late as I want without, having to be. And I went to Casey since they were pretty much the only thing that was open today. I got some snacks. So, and that's not all my snacks. I've eaten others and all that, but yeah, it was kind of the other funny thing about last night is I thought I was only gonna get a 15, And so, I was thinking to myself, well, what am I going to do for food? And because I didn't know what was, other than a couple of my meals I had, I wasn't sure what was in the fridge at home. So I was kind of psyching myself up to stop by Casey's and get some slices of pizza. Well, all of a sudden, one of the guys comes in and it's like, you can go on your 30. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know I was getting a 30, but okay. And so I went and logged out, got something to eat, and sat. They have like a little break room, like right by the front doors. They have official break room that's in the back of the store, but it takes a while to walk back there and back. And I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. So they have this little break room that's like off to where Starbucks used to be. Starbucks used to be on that side of the store. As you come in the doors on the one side, there was like the little Starbucks, and now they've turned it into kind of a little break room. And they have like popcorn and slushies, and then they have like their deli and little meat and cheese packets and all that. And so easy peasy lemon squeezy. So I just went there and just sat and ate food, played on my phone for a little bit, then went to the bathroom and I visited the little girl's room and clocked back in and jumped back into the chaos. And so, but yeah, I'm just glad that Christmas is over. I'm hoping that New Year's isn't as chaotic, but also I won't be there for New Year's. So so you know. And the funny thing is that like check, cause you have to check ID for like their first model, whatever it is, and then you don't have to check it multiple times, which is nice. But you still get some of those people who are like, "Why should I have to show my ID? I'm old enough." And I'm like, dude, I know. It's the law. We have to do this. We have to ID everybody regardless of their age. And, you think I kick their dog or something. And it's like, dude, just give me your ID or give me your birthday. I'll type it in, hit accept, and we can go on. Most people are fine. Like I said, I have to give praise to the customers because most of them are wonderful, fine to wonderful. But it's just a few that are I shouldn't have to show my ID. I'm in my 60s. And it's like, dude, I know. It's the law. I will lose my job if I do not do this. So, shut up, hand me your ID or tell me your birthday, and then we can both be on our way. So, and that's the other thing. After what happened at Casey's, like I'm not mean about it most of the time, but I can be blunt. I can be very much. It's law. I need to see an ID. You know, and like Target is very much, they're not customers, they're guests. It's like, this is not my home. This is not their home. This is not anybody's home. Why are we calling them guests? It kind of reminds me of a hotel almost. It's like, oh, welcome to, Motel 6 or whatever. Be our guest, And I'm like, okay. But, like I said, for the most part, it's been okay. It's been an okay experience. But it, it just, I'm ready for it to be done. I'm ready for Saturday. I'm ready to just enjoy the new year. Like, I've really enjoyed like I said, the other really nice thing about Target is they're closed Thanksgiving and they're closed Christmas. And, like, it's amazing. Like, it's been so nice. I got to talk to Keith earlier. I got to talk to Keith for a while on Christmas Eve. Well, Christmas afternoon before I left for work. And I got to talk to him for a good long time this morning. I've gotten to play a little Stardew Valley, play a little Switch, that kind of thing. And it's been fun. It's been really interesting. It's been a good time. But I'm just ready for this to be over. I am done. I am pretty much finished. So anyway, it's been an interesting experience, and if you guys would like, maybe I'll tell you some more stories about it later. But for now, I think I might play a little bit more Stardew Valley, or try to see if I can link my account on the Switch to the Nintendo shop, whatever it is, and see about downloading maybe a different game. Um, anyway, so I'll let you know how that goes. And maybe if I can figure out how to get the Switch showing on my computer, maybe I can play the Switch for you guys sometimes. That would be kind of fun. Um, but yeah, so I hope you guys had a great Christmas. Um, and I will try to upload another video before um everybody comes back, before mom and dad come back. Other than that, I will try to upload. I've also been thinking of downloading TikTok. Um, just because I've been watching a lot of like Louie Lane, does like the scary side of TikTok and stuff like that. I even saw this one cool thing she did where there's this creator on TikTok who did like a talk about how she does like store bought pesto, and can you believe that? And so people have been responding to her with stitches, which apparently is when you stitch together, when you make it look like one video or whatever. It starts out with her and her pesto story, and then the other person, talks about weird things that have happened to them. And it's like everything from like ghost stories to like weird stuff, like glitch in the matrix type stuff. And but then they always end the video with, but yeah, Susie, that's weird. Store-bought pesto. And it's cute. So I was thinking maybe downloading it and seeing what happens there. So I'll let you guys know what happens. And you guys can follow me on TikTok, especially since I think I might be deleting Twitter soon, or X, or whatever they call it now, because it's just so annoying every time I get on there, and every time I hear what Elon Musk is doing, I just want to be like, spoiled rich boy who's never been told no in his life, you know? And so, but anyway, that's my opinion. I'm not getting into drama right now. other than the drama at work and all that. But anyway, have a good Christmas, guys, whatever's left of it, and I will talk to you later. Bye.